Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Watch Darius TV. I am back with another review, and this one is of Gen V, Season 1, Episode 6, Jumanji. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video for all things Gen V TV show. So, let's begin with this review, okay? So, the episode starts with Kate jogging Emma's memory of everything that she basically erased. In the process of her doing this, Kate also has like this side effect to her power where it's like blood like pops in both of her eyes when she's using her powers. Her eyes turn all like red and bloody and stuff like that. So in the world of Gen V, or I guess the boys, there's always some type of side effect to people's powers or something like that. So Marie, her powers is she has to cut herself in order to make her blood powers work. Emma has to basically puke, which is very dangerous. So for her to shrink and stuff like that. So there's always some type of weird side effect to a lot of the soup's powers. Jordan and Marie tell her off basically for wiping her memories, and she ends up. Kate has another basically breakdown, kind of similar to how she did earlier in the season when she was going to go help Andre out when she was mind controlling everybody. When she does it too much, using her powers of mind controlling and racing minds, it can really have a significant amount of effect on her mind. Causing blood clots to burst in her eyes, all kind of stuff. So that's a side effect of her power. Andre thinks Kate made Luke kill Brinks and himself. He's mad at Kate for basically everything. This episode he just kind of just completely just gets done with her. Maria thinks that they should basically talk to Kate. Maybe they can talk this out and maybe fix it that way. Of course Marie does that because she's the protagonist of the show, so she has to be the voice of reason, I would assume. Kate passes out from her powers, and Marie like sort of uses her blood bending to sort of help her come back to life essentially. So that's another useful thing of having her like weird type of blood bending powers. And Marie can also help somebody back from almost dying. So that's pretty cool sort of effect with her powers. Anyway, so as we go back to the woods, we see Dr. Corso shows the virus that he's been testing on this one soup that has like these electrical powers. His name is Betsy, I believe. And she's just getting sick. She's just coughing, looking like she has COVID or something. And Dean Shetty, wants to make the virus stronger, essentially. So they spend this episode working on this virus to use on soups to basically make it more stronger to basically wipe out all the soups as possible. Anybody's ever read the boys comic books? At the end of the comic books, there's a certain character that wants to, I think, release some type of virus or something to try to kill off all the soups. I'm not going to really, even though I just basically spoiled the ending, but I'm not saying who did it. But anybody who read the comic books know what I'm talking about. This storyline is kind of similar to that, except that's the way sort of that storyline pops up towards the end of the series of the comic books. It seemed like this character of this Dr. Corso, he's sort of bringing that storyline into the boys. I mean, to the Gen V TV series. So that's pretty interesting. Marie, Jordan, and Andre tend to Kate, but she wakes up and suddenly she just teleports. So while they were taking care of her, trying to make sure she's okay, she just sort of disappears. They go looking for her and basically see a bunch of floating objects, and they see Kate's mom looking for her brother that she made run away from when she was a kid, when she first activated her powers. So they're pretty much totally confused over where Kate is, what's going on. They see they are inside Kate's mind. So Kate somehow was able to get them. I thought Kate's power was just strictly just mind control, but also it is erasing minds and also sort of putting people inside of her head, basically sort of like putting like illusions into people's minds, I guess. I didn't know that she had some type of telepathy type of power where she can like show what's inside of her, what's going on inside of her mind. So that's pretty interesting. Soldier Boy pops up in her mind as her MCM, which is basically her Man Crush Monday. So she had a huge crush on Soldier Boy, I guess, when she was younger. And this is basically an interesting way to bring in Soldier Boy from the boys. Another cameo, because throughout this season we see a bunch of cameos from, different characters like the Deep and stuff like that. Different people from the boys popping up on this show. So I like how they do that. Soldier Boy lets them know that her blood vessel is fatal, and she can be bad for them. Well, this could be pretty much a bad thing for them inside of her head. It's if this blood vessel sort of, I guess, erupts, that they can end up being stuck in her mind forever and just be completely a vegetable. Her and all of them, they'll just be completely comatose. So this episode almost feels like it's basically like a mixture of the movie Inception and The Matrix. Basically, they're just sort of in this other world while they're sleeping in the real world type of thing going on. So I guess it's kind of the theme of this episode. Emma comes back to Sam, and they hook up. So I already kind of saw this happen, that they're going to end up becoming some type of couple or something, you know. And he also they have sex basically. So while he's basically losing his virginity to Emma, weirdly enough, he thinks of her as a puppet. I don't know what was the point of that, but yeah, this is like I said, this show is a spinoff of The Boys. So there's a bunch of weird kinks that they're gonna have on this show. I don't know. And he got this some type of weird mental issue like Black Noir. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. That was weird. But anyway, the gang sees a memory of Kate meeting Dean Shetty. So throughout this episode, the gang meets a bunch of different people that Kate was meeting and sort of learn a lot of stuff about her from what she's been doing, erasing people's memories. They learn a lot more about Kate and each other while inside Kate's head. So they see a memory of Kate meeting Dean Shetty. Dean Shetty, she comforts Kate while she's at her home. Kate's mom brought Dean Shetty here. This is how they met. And Dean Shetty just wants to basically comfort Kate. Really, she's just there to sort of use Kate for her powers, basically. To me, the meeting is really similar to like Professor Xavier meeting like a young Jean Grey in one of the X-Men movies. She's just there to basically, instead of, trying to help her out like how Professor Xavier wanted to do Jean Grey, she's just here to basically sort of find some way to control this girl. She gives Kate some pills for the voices in her head, and she lets Kate even hug her. So there's that. So that shows how their relationship sort of having met and their relationship develops. We see a flashback of Golden Boy, Luke, aka Golden Boy, meeting Kate, and Andre basically wants to leave because he doesn't just want to relive whatever memory this is. But Kate exposes everybody, and he shows that he's been hooking up with Kate. And Golden Boy even blows up the one guy that was tagging along with them named Dustin. I don't really remember too much of who this character was or where he came from, but he gets blown up inside this memory. So I don't know if that means they die in real life. I don't know. This character just popped up. I don't even remember him from the previous episode. But anyway, Golden Boy just basically incinerates him, and they see that they can't use their powers inside Kate's mind. So that's another thing that makes this whole ordeal kind of crazy, is that they can't even fight back. They're just inside Kate's mind. So Andre gets exposed in this episode, and we also see Marie and Jordan getting exposed too. So we go in to see Jordan's memory. Luke is mad at Brinks over Sam. He's mad that his brother's been kept captive and all this stuff like that. And we see in this flashback memory that Jordan ends up knocking out Luke, kind of similar to how Soldier Boy got knocked out in The Boys season 3 finale. And Jordan keeps Brinks' secret about helping him out dealing with Luke. And he sees that when he ends up keeping Brinks' secret, Brinks ends up pulling Jordan under his wing as sort of like a gatekeeper. So we see Jordan also gets exposed in this episode for working with Brinks and what he did with Sam. So everybody in this episode sort of shows their darker side as to what they had to do in the past, and everybody's getting exposed in this episode, not just Kate. Then they have a scene of the two Jordans sort of talking to each other, the male and female Jordan. And female Jordan is remorseful for helping Brinks out, and male Jordan says Brinks was good, and the male Jordan is completely in denial. He doesn't want to take responsibility, and sort of they have this sort of back and forth between characters, like Jordan is arguing with himself basically, or herself, or themself, or whatever. Sam says he feels Gemma should be with somebody else, but she doesn't feel that way. Emma says she knows someone who can help them out. I'm not sure who this person is. I'm assuming, finding out in the next episode. So their relationship sort of gets close together. My personal theory is the fact that something's going to happen between these two. They're not going to be able to really develop a full relationship because Sam basically is he was locked up in a mental institution. He has mental problems. I don't really know if he can really be in a relationship with Emma or any normal relationship because technically he was originally locked up. So I don't know if the relationship is going to be able to completely work out well. That's just my theory. Anyway, so the gang, they end up in the woods, and Jordan says their memories are like sort of bleeding together, basically, since they've been inside Kate's mind. Jordan sees the error of his ways, finally, the male Jordan I'm talking about, and believes Brinks wants he says the error of his ways, believing Brinks and wants to make. Now Jordan basically decides that he sees the error of his ways and he wants to really fix things. We see in this episode. So each person is seeing the wrong they've done. Andre's seeing the wrong he's done. Jordan has, of course, we're about to go to Marie too, and they're all just basically sort of just seeing the error of their ways and all the consequences of their actions. And they see a vision of Luke and Sam getting experimented on while in the woods. And Kate erases Luke's memory and says Sam died. So basically just putting inside of his mind that his brother is dead and just manipulating all the strings. Kate is trying to talk Dean, Shetty, and Brinks into stopping her from doing what she's doing. She's feeling remorseful of erasing people's memories and, telling people the wrong stuff. If she doesn't like it, they basically decide to tell her, hey, look, you got to erase some more memories. So basically sort of forcing her to work for them, even though she really doesn't want to be manipulating her friends' brains and stuff like that. But Dean, Shetty, and Brinks are seeing this flashback that that's what they want her to do. So we see Marie's memory of her parents' death, and her sister basically just sort of blames her for their parents' death. Marie even sort of yells inside Kate's head that it's not her fault. So like I said, every character is just meeting different type of things from the past they've done, they've regretted. And, that's sort of how this episode goes. Marie, she realizing that her sister will probably never forgive her and completely blames her for her parents' death, even though she didn't really know how to use her powers at that time. So, there's that sort of, no pun intended, but that's a wound being torn open for Marie. Then the gang ends up meeting Kate, and she says she doesn't want to wake up. And Andre tells her off about her manipulation, but gets her to wake up and save them all. So finally, they get outside of Kate's mind, and to get out of this weird matrixy illusion parallel world to be able to finally get back into the real world. So there's how that goes. Emma introduces the gang to Sam. Sam ends up seeing Kate, remembering that basically she was the one that was screwing around with his mind, and he just totally attacks her. And Emma basically is able to talk him down, and Kate now works with the gang, telling them about the woods testing on Luke's powers to augment them, and Shetty is basically just controlling everything. So she just completely comes clean and decides to tell her friends, hey, this is what's been going on. So now Kate is back on the good side with her and her friends, and she's back to sort of, well, she's not cool with them just yet, but she's back to sort of being on their side now. This episode ends with Dr. Corso, the virus that he was using to test on this Soup, this young girl with this electrical powers. I call her Betsy the Shocker, realizing that this mutation just completely wipes her out and just, offs her. And the Dean Corso, he's completely worried about it. He didn't want her to die. But Dean Shetty instead just wants to know if she can make this contagious. So she wants to know, hey, can we make this deadly virus be able to spread amongst all Soups to wipe them all out? And that's how the episode ends. So this was a really interesting episode. It wasn't as action-packed as the previous episode was, but it was really interesting, well-written. We got to get more of an idea as to what was going on between these characters. My theory is Emma and Sam are not going to be able to be a relationship that's going to last. I just don't see it. Sam got total issues, and I'm not sure about Emma, though. I'm more worried that she might, I don't know. She's a fan favorite. I don't think she'll die necessarily, but now we see that the whole team is back together now. Marie, Jordan's, Andre, Kate, Emma. I guess Sam is part of that. So now they're all like their own little superhero team now, basically like a Teen Titans meets Euphoria or something like that. There's some sort of like small team now, ready to go against Dean Shetty, who's like basically, like I said, like the female Lex Luthor, basically. And that's how that's going to go. So they're definitely going to start to work against Dean Shetty, I would assume. And that's about it. I don't really have any more theories or anything like that. If you have any theories, if you're still catching up on the show, comment below. Let me know what you think is going to happen in the next episode. And I really like this episode. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video for all things Gen V. Thank you for watching my show. And let's see how this episode is going to go. The next one. All right.